local widow fighting the VA for years. The problem, proving her late husband handled the chemical herbicide Agent Orange.
A victorious outcome could give her compensation today. Pittsburgh's Action News 4 investigator Bofta Imam is here, and Bofta, she's hoping her story could actually help others out.
That's right, and she's really done a ton of legwork already in her case without a lawyer. Deanie Tarr says she knows her late husband handled Agent Orange, but for years the VA tells her unless she can prove it, she has no chance at getting compensation she believes she deserves.
I love him. I miss him. I didn't want this to happen to him. I wanted to have a long life with him.
Deanie Tarr says her husband Christopher died at 64 after developing squamous cell cancer. During their 25-year marriage, he rarely talked about his service in the Air Force, stationed in Korea in the early 1960s.
He was a loader. He loaded this stuff on the planes, this Agent Orange, bound for Vietnam. Now, at a few points, he did tell me he was in Vietnam, but only on short missions.
He would load Agent Orange?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in 55-gallon drums.
But after collecting 10 years of medical records, digging through military paperwork, and pressing the VA to grant her claim for compensation,
Yeah, I was denied.
She's fighting for dependency and indemnity compensation, a paid benefit to eligible survivors of veterans for a death resulting from a service-related injury or disease. But proving the first steps that her husband actually traveled into Vietnam or was exposed to Agent Orange as a loader has been tricky.
If they know that somebody working in Korea in his exact location during that period of time was the one loading all of the planes that eventually went and sprayed Agent Orange in Vietnam, we're back in the game.
What do you make of all of this?
I think that they are hiding something.
Tarr filed her first claim in 2011 and was denied. She blames the VA for failing to keep adequate records.
When I spoke to the gentleman at the VA, he says, "Oh my God," and I said to him, "What's wrong?" And he said, "Your husband's files were destroyed."
But the VA told Action News Investigates it's not aware that Tarr's files were destroyed. The agency does say it's double-checking Tarr's personnel file, including 1,000 pages of medical records.
Well, her claim for DIC was denied because we haven't been able to make service connection to Agent Orange exposure.
If her husband was alive, Attorney Quattrini says they could ask key questions. That's why he urges veterans or their loved ones to get on the ball now.
To find the exact person that they would have been on that mission with, the only person that can answer that question is the deceased veteran. The only person that could tell us exactly what the barrels looked like that he was putting onto the plane. What kind of plane was it? Did he have any pictures of that stuff?
He suggests veterans make copies of documents, send it in certified mail to the VA, and take detailed notes. Simple advice, but critical in building a case like Tarr's.
Really solidifying that he was exposed to Agent Orange, where and when.
Tarr filed her latest appeal last year and is still waiting for a hearing. The VA says it's drastically reduced its backlog, but admits.
But we could definitely use more personnel here.
Would you say you all are strapped?
We are strapped.
If they could make you wait until you get disgusted and drop the whole thing, I think that's what's up their sleeve, but I think they need to be exposed because there's many widows like me who have had their spouses fall to this, and they died. Eventually they died.
Now, Quattrini says veterans who suspect any Agent Orange contact need to request an examination by the VA, file a claim, and write a statement. The VA recommends veterans work with service organizations, collect pictures of the veteran during service, and if possible, connect with their former unit members to get written statements. Now, as for Tarr, she says winning her case could lead to about $1,100 each month.
Well, and it's such a big deal for her emotionally, too.
Yeah, you can still see it. You can hear it in her voice that this is still painful, and digging through all the legwork, that's hard too as a widow. So she really hopes by sharing her story tonight that hopefully it will help someone else out there.
The more information, the better. All right.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Bofta.
Thank you.